So welcome to today's event, How to Increase Your Creativity. My name is Mi Kim Tran, and I will be the presenter today for today's event.
Nice.
So a little bit about me. So I am the executive director for Wicker Foundation. I started my career as a speaker in 2010. It's just motivating and inspiring youth to feel good about themselves. So I got my bachelor's degree in media communication, in understanding how the media influenced our mind. And then in 2011, I went and got my master's degree in health psychology, in understanding how the body and mind is connected. So I focus mainly on physical and mental health. And then in 2015, I went and got my PhD in humanistic psychology, in understanding what motivates, inspire, and empower youth to reach their full potential. So that's how my career started in my education. So that's a little bit about me. So let's get to today's agenda. Today's agenda is very straightforward. I will share with you the first half of the hour, what is creativity, the three elements, which is knowledge, creative thinking, and motivation. And then the second half, it will be question and answer. Since we have a lot of time for question and answer, as I go through the content in the first half, and if you have any question, please post them in the chat box. And please remember to post your questions so everybody can see, okay? Because if you only post them to me, then other people might not know what you asked, and they might ask the same question. So if you do have questions, please post them so everybody can see. And then when the second half hour comes, I will try my best to answer the question as best as I can to help you successfully, okay? And I will also be answering some of the questions that are being asked on the registration form when you register for the event, okay? So let's get started. What is creativity? Creativity in simple terms means when you're able to do new things. That's it. When you're able to come up new ways how to do something, that means you are creative. So like, for example, if you ever come up with a solution, a new solution to solve one of your life problem, that means you're a creative person. I mean, it might be a creative person at the lower level, but that's still being creative. So anytime you come up with a new way to do something, that means you are being creative. And in this case, every day you are creative. And in the ledger of creativity, it considered mean everyday creativity, creative living, which means you create new ways to help you become successful in life. And that is just the basic concept of creativity. So in this case, all of us are creative individuals, correct? So in this case, anytime you come up with a new solution or new idea to do something, remember that you are a creative person. So that is just similarly what creativity means, okay? So what are some of the great benefits when you are a creative person? So I put here 4 benefits of being creative. First is that when you're a creative person, you are able to develop your unique lifestyle. Because even though all of us do the same things, such as going to work, eat, exercise, sleep, family, but we still have a different lifestyle, which means we need to create new way, creative way for us to develop a successful lifestyle for ourselves. But if you're not creative enough, it's hard for you to come up with routine ways to do those things successfully. And that's why being creative is important. And second, being creative will help you come up with your own solution to your life problems. And that is important. Because even though we might face with the same problems, each of us still live differently, which means we need different solutions. And when you are not creative, it's hard for you to come up with those creative solutions to solve your problem. Because even though we might face the same problem, we still need different solutions because of the different lifestyle. And that's why being creative is important. And third, being creative will also help you apply your strength successfully, especially when it comes to your career. You can have a lot of strength and talent, but if you don't know how to apply it successfully, then you won't have a creative solution or innovative solution to improve your career. And also, the strength and talent that you have, you want to make sure you want to apply it successfully in your life, I mean in creative way. But if you're not creative, it's hard for you to know how to apply your strength and talent, correct? Like for example, there are a lot of people with strength and talent, but they can't become successful with them because they lack creativity. They can't come up with creative ideas to use their strength and talent. And so that is why being creative is important. And fourth and last, when you are creative, it will help you achieve your goals and dream more successfully. So you and I can have the same goal, such as let's say that you and I want to publish our own book. That's great. But since we are different, we have different lifestyle, it is important for us to create our own path how to achieve our goal. And that is the key right there. Because a lot of times, it's not the goal that many people fail, it's the way they develop the plan to help them achieve their goal that they lack. It's not that goal that is bad. It's just that a lot of people have trouble coming up with a creative way to achieve their goals. That's where they fail. And that's why being creative is so important, to help you develop successful path or way to help you achieve your goal and dream. Okay, so those are some of the great benefits how being creative will help you. And there's so many other ways that when you're being creative can improve your life as well. You can do your own research and you will discover that when you're being creative, it will benefit every area of your life. Okay, so now we're going to go into the 3 elements of creativity, such as knowledge, creative thinking, and motivation. So I will share with you 3 or 4 tips to help you increase knowledge, creative thinking, and motivation, okay? So let's get started with knowledge. The first way to increase your knowledge base is to learn new things. You want to learn from different fields as possible, such as education, mathematics, science, history, art, psychology, business, as wide variety as much as possible. Because if you are learning the same thing over and over again, or you're just learning the same field over and over again, then you are more likely to learn the same knowledge and skill all the time, which means it will not increase your knowledge base. But if you learn from a variety of fields, which means you gain more knowledge and skill, which will mean it will increase your knowledge base to help you become more creative, okay? The second component is you want to learn from different environments and settings. So like, for example, let's say that you want to learn about nutrition. First, you want to learn from, take a course at a university or a college. And also you want to take a course in a workshop or event like this to help you increase your knowledge base. Or another way to learn is to search on Google or read books, listen to video, watch video, listen to audio, or you can even ask others to help you with nutrition. When you learn variety like that, you will learn more knowledge when it comes to nutrition because nutrition is wide variety. It's very big. And what you learn at university or colleges, they will not cover 100% about nutrition. They only cover certain things. It's the same when you take a workshop in nutrition, they will not teach you everything. It's the same if you research on Google, you will not likely come through all the information. So which means the more way you learn, the more likely you will get more knowledge about nutrition that will increase your knowledge base. But most importantly, when you learn from different environments, it will teach you different methods to apply nutrition, and that is important. You want to learn as many methods as possible to apply a concept. That's how you become more creative. So like, for example, when I was teaching a health psychology course at a university, the way that the university tell me to teach about health is so different comparing to if I were teaching a health course through a workshop or event like this. It's the method that I use, it will be different. And even on Google or in books, the way that they teach you about a concept will still be slightly different method to help you apply successfully. So when you learn at different places, you not only learn more knowledge, but you are able to learn a lot of methods to help you become successfully. Because if you are only learning in university or colleges, then you are learning only a few method, like 1 or 2 method only. And then once you apply that 2 method and then you fail, then you're in big trouble. You have no more method to apply. But if you are learning from different environment and setting, which means you have more opportunity to learn more methods to help you apply the same concept, the same knowledge, which is important. Because creativity is about applying the same knowledge and skill in different way. And by learning from different setting and environment will help you gain more knowledge and method, which will mean you will become more creative, correct? So learn as many different type of places as possible. Community center, you can ask other people to teach you about nutrition. The key is a wide variety of methods, okay? So the next way to increase your knowledge base is to learn from different types of people. And this is also important. First, you want to learn from different age group because different age group will think differently. Even though you are sharing the same knowledge, but the way that a teenager think, the way that an adult think, the way that a senior think is different. And when people think differently, which means what they share and how they share will be differently. So which means when you learn from a variety of people like that, you learn more method, how they think about the concept to share with you, which means you have more method that you can apply. And that's why it's important to learn from different age group. We cannot say, oh, they're younger than us, they don't know. But today, people know more than in the 20th century. So which means you want to learn from every age group, even kids. Kids are very, very smart today that they can share a lot of knowledge to you. And second, you want to learn from different ethnicity, different culture, because with a different background, they have different knowledge, different experiences, which means most likely you will learn new information from them. Even if you and I are coming from different background but sharing the same topic, we still share different things. So like, for example, I'm Asian and you are white or black. Even though we are talking about the same topic of nutrition, my experience from an Asian background, I will share the knowledge slightly different. And when you have the background of being a white person or a black person, the way you share the knowledge will also be different because you have different experiences, which means it's important to learn from different type of people because of the different background and knowledge that they have, which will open up your knowledge base, okay? And also you want to learn from different type of people in industry. It's the same with learning from different field. You want to learn, talk to people in education field, psychology field, business field, health field, as many different type as field as possible because of the different background and education. And also you want to learn from different type of people in different career level, entry level, senior level, CA level, as many different type of level as possible. Because again, with a different level, with the different experiences, they will share different things to you to help you expand your knowledge base. And that is important. Because one time I was taking a course in my bachelor degree, and I had to take a course on group work. And the teacher required us to form a group of 6. And he said that each person in the group needs to have a different background of education and culture. Because he said this, because if everybody in the group have the same background or education, then most likely we all think the same. And when we think the same, then we come up with the same solution. However, if each person is different, then we have different experiences, different background, which means we are more likely to come up with different solutions. And the more people you are surrounded with different type of people, the more creative solution you will have. And that is why being around different type of people is important to help you increase that knowledge base and experiences. And I can understand that it is difficult sometimes to be around all this type of people, right? It's not easy to come by, but have an open mind to want to be around them as you go through life. So like, for example, if tomorrow you go out and you meet someone that's your different culture, be open-minded and want to learn from them and not be closed-minded, say, oh, They are different from me. I can't learn anything from them. And a lot of people have that mindset and perspective, which means close them off to learn. So have open mind every time you meet someone new. Have an open mind and communicate with them and learn from them. See what can you learn to expand your knowledge base. Okay. So that's the second tip. The third way to increase your knowledge base is to set learning goals. Learning goals are goals that require you to learn new knowledge and skill to become successful. Simple as that. So like, for example, in your career, if there's a promotion that you want to get, okay, see what kind of new knowledge and skill that you need to master, and then set a learning goal for those. And then once you achieve those skill and knowledge, you not only achieve those knowledge and skill, but you get promoted. Or when it comes to your health, you can set a learning goal to improve your physical, mental, spiritual, or emotional health. And there's so many learning goals that you can set when it comes to health. So like, for example, is there a new exercise routine that you want to set a learning goal to try to learn new knowledge and skill to become successful? Set a learning goal for that. Or when it comes to your mental health, such as self-esteem, do you want to learn how to improve your self-esteem? Set a learning goal to learn new knowledge to improve your self-esteem. So in this case, not only you learn new knowledge and skill, but you will always also increase your self-esteem. So isn't that great? And also in relationship, if you want to improve your relationship, then you can set a learning goal to communicate better. If you have lack of communication skill, set a learning goal to learn how to communicate better. Not only you learn about communication skill, but you will improve your relationship. And also other type of learning goals that you can set is, for example, is there a language that you want to learn that you've been procrastinating? Set a learning goal for that. Do you want to sew, learn how to cook better, learn how to fix car, or whatever skill that you want to learn? This is the best opportunity for you to set a learning goal to not only increase your knowledge base, but help you become better in life, and that is important. And most importantly, you want to set high expectation learning goals, and that is important. One time I was attending a personal development training, and one of the mentors told the mentee to set a goal to achieve $1 million. And here's what he said. It is not the $1 million that is the purpose of setting that goal, but it's the knowledge and skill and the discipline and the motivation that come with setting that goal. That is the true benefit. Because to achieve that $1 million goal, it takes a lot of learning of new skill and effort and discipline and motivation that come with it. And so that is where the true benefit come in when you set a goal to achieve $1 million. And of course, if you can achieve that $1 million, that would be great. But that is not the purpose. The purpose is to learn the new knowledge and skill to help you grow, to help increase your knowledge base. Okay? So in this case, even if you fail on your high expectation goal, you will still learn a lot more knowledge compared to another individual who set low expectation goal that doesn't require a lot of learning new knowledge and skill. So if you fail, you still learn a lot, and that's the end goal, okay? So in this case, you want to set a high expectation learning goal from every area that you can think of: career, health, relationship, any skill that you want to make sure it's set high expectation goal as much as possible. And every time you achieve a learning goal, keep on setting new one, because there are so many that we can do, right, to set new learning goal. So that is the third tip. The next tip to help you increase your knowledge base is to see problems as opportunity. So what is the opportunity of problems? Is the growth of knowledge and skill. One of the main reasons why we have a problem is because we lack the knowledge and skill to come up with a solution for it. Because if we have the knowledge and skill, then we have a solution for it. So then it won't become a problem anymore. But the reason why we have a problem because we lack the knowledge and skill, and that is the opportunity when you face your problem and solve your problem. And the thing is, the bigger the problem you face, the more knowledge and skill you have, the more your knowledge base will become. And that's why problems are opportunity. And the great thing is, throughout our life, we have a lot of problems, right? Small problems, big problem, medium problem, which means every day is an opportunity for you to learn new knowledge and skill, because we face problem, we need to learn new knowledge and skill to overcome it. And that is why problem is one of the best way to increase your knowledge base. So those are the 4 tips to increase your knowledge base. Now we're going to go to the second component, is creative thinking. So the first way to increase your creative thinking is to believe that everyone is creative. Like I said at the beginning, if you're able to come up with a new way to do something, that means you're a creative person, okay? And you don't need to be a genius to come up with a successful solution to your life area. And did you know that people that are considered genius, creative genius, it takes them at least 10 to 20 years to come up with those creative ideas. So if you have a problem and you fail 1 or 2 times, that does not mean you are not creative. It's just that at that moment, maybe the problem is too big. Maybe you lack the knowledge, which means it prevents you to come up with a creative solution at that moment, but that does not mean you are not a creative person, okay? So in this case, every time you have trouble coming up with a solution or any new idea, give it a rest, take time, let your mind think through all the options in your brain, but do not give up by saying, oh, there's no solution for my problem. The moment you say that there's no solution, you're shutting down your brain to think creatively. When your brain is shut down, they stop thinking. It stops using the knowledge in your brain to form a new idea. And that is why you have to have an open mind. Even if you fail 10 times, there's still a solution out there. So always have that mind open that you are a creative person, okay? So like, for example, when I have a problem and I can't come up with a solution right away, I will let it rest. I will go do something else. And then later, around maybe 2 or 3 hours, my brain will come up with a creative solution for me. And those are small problems. And if I have a big problem, sometimes the solution won't come up until like the next day or 2 days later. But I will never shut down my brain that I am not creative, because we are creative. It's just that sometimes we lack information, we lack knowledge, which means if you have a so difficult time coming up, which means you can increase your knowledge base, go and learn something different, another different field to increase your knowledge base, so it will give it to the brain to formulate to help you come up with a creative solution, okay? And another tip is that start things early. So whenever you have something to do or when you have a problem, start early. Because if you wait to the last minute, let's say that you have a problem and it need to be solved today, and you wait until the last minute and the brain can't come up with a creative idea, then you're in trouble, right? Because especially when you have big problems, it takes a while for your brain to come up with that creative idea. But you start things late, then time run out, and then you believe that you're not creative, or you believe that there's no solution. But there will always be a solution. It's just you need to allow your brain to formulate the solution for you, okay? And so starting early is important if you want to develop creative idea. So the next tip to keep your creative thinking alive is very similar, is believe that there are more than one solution out there. There are unlimited solutions out there. Creativity is imagination, and there's no limit to what kind of solution exists out there. It's just all come down to your self-belief, because one knowledge can form a lot of creative solutions. It just depends on how creative you are to keep on applying to come up with a solution. So when you have that open mind to believe that there are unlimited solutions, then you're unlikely to shut down your brain. But the key is you want to have your mind to always be open. Okay, and that is important. Even if you fail 10 times, there's still a solution out there. Even if you fail 20 times, there's still a solution out there. It just depends on how creative you are to come up with that solution. So always have that open mind that there is a solution out there. Never shut down your brain by saying that, oh, I failed 10 times already. Oh no, there's no more solution. That will shut down your brain, and that means you can't become creative anymore. Okay? And when you have that open mind, it will decrease your stress and worry a lot. Because like, for example, if you fail 10 times and you say, oh, my problem have no solution, which means you are stuck with that problem. You are paralyzed with that problem because you feel like there's no way out of that problem. And when you feel like there's no way out of that problem, that's when stress and worry develop. But when you have that open mind that there is still a solution out there, you feel less worry and less stress, which means your hope is still alive. That means your brain is still active to help you come up with a solution. Okay? So that is the second tip. The third tip to keep your mind open and creative is that there's no wrong or right solution. You just have to pick the best solution that fit in your life at the moment. That's it. But no, there's no wrong or right solution. Because when you have an open mind to believe that there's no wrong or right, you're not eliminating any solution out there. And that is important. Sometimes a solution might work best at the moment, and sometimes another solution might work best in the future. But when you shut out certain solution, you believe that certain solution are wrong, then you shut that solution out of your mind that might benefit you in the future. Okay? And also, the reason why there's no right and wrong solution is because we have different experiences. So let's say that you and I have the same problem. I will come up with a new solution, a different solution than you because I have different knowledge, I have different experiences. You will have a different solution because you have different knowledge and experiences. Even if you don't use my solution, that does not mean my solution is wrong. And if I do not use your solution, that does not mean your solution is wrong. It's just that we just have to pick what is the best solution at the moment to fit our life at the moment. And sometimes if my solution is not good and I'm still open to your solution, which means I can try your solution out. But if I shut out your solution and say that is wrong, then I will unlikely to want to use your solution, and that could backfire on me because sometimes your solution could be better fit than my solution. So always have that mindset that there's no wrong or right solution. Always have that open mind, okay? So the next tip to help you create that creative mindset is to always constantly put new idea, concept, and method in novel way. Remember when I talk about creativity is about doing things in different ways. But we want to prepare our brain, our mind to be creative all the time. So when you hit a big challenge, you are more likely to become successful. Okay, so like for example, you want to build that habit, being creative. So in this case, in your daily life, try to do things in different ways. So like for example, let's say that you exercise for 30 minutes and you run on the same route. In this case, you want to try to find a different route to run. When you find a different route, which means you are being creative because you are doing different things. Or put the exercise routine in a different format. Let's say that you run 30 minutes straight, try out, run 20 minutes, and then another 10 minutes later. Or run 15 minutes and then run another 15 minutes later. By doing that, by creating new routine and running different way, that means you are being creative. That means your mind is always being creative all the time, and that is important to keep your mind and creative mindset alive. And like for example, let's say that you like to eat potatoes. Try to find ways to how to cook potato, right? As many ways as possible. And every time you create a new potato recipe, that means you are a creative person. That means your mind is being creative all the time. And we want to do that throughout our life, daily. If you can't do it daily, at least throughout the weeks or throughout your life, to keep your mind being creative, to come up with new ideas and ways all the time, okay? And when you do that, when you're in the habit of being creative all the time, then you're more likely to solve problems more successfully in the future. Because when you face with new problem, which means it will require a new solution. But if you're not in the habit of coming up with new ways, then it's hard for you to solve problems successfully, especially when you hit challenging problem, especially when you hit big problem. You want to prepare yourself to be creative. So when you face that big problem, you are more likely to become more successful. Okay? And the third reason why you want to keep putting new idea and concept method like that is because it will keep your life interesting. Especially when you have to eat potato a lot, right? If you can create new recipe all the time, your life will become interesting. But if you keep eating potato the same, then your life get boring. It's the same with everything we do in life, especially when we do chores or anything that we do. If you can become creative and keep doing new ways, that will keep your life interesting, and that is important. Okay. So that's 4 ways to increase your creative mindset. Next, I will share you 3 tips how to increase your motivation. So the first way to increase your motivation is to be around motivating and positive people. Because when you're around positive people, they will motivate you to keep on moving forward to find a new solution, especially when you face challenging problems. And if you have a hard time, you need someone to push you, right? To stay positive, to keep on being creative. But if you're around negative people, you know what they do? They will drain your energy out. And to be creative, you need to stay motivated. Your brain has to stay motivated to be creative. And another thing is when you're around negative people, they will use the excuse that your challenge is too big, you should quit. And that's how negative people think. But when you're around positive people, no matter what, if they can't help you find a solution, they will find ways, they will try to encourage you to find new ways to learn new knowledge, to stay positive, to keep your mind open, to become more creative. And that is why it is important to be around positive people. Okay? So the next way to increase your motivation to become creative is to learn from successful people. The reason why they are successful because they are able to come up with creative solution or idea or innovative idea. That's why they are successful. So in this case, when you learn from them, you will see how they apply their strength and talent, how they do things, and see how you can do the same thing as them. You take the idea method and how can you apply it in your daily life as well. Even though you're using their method, but the way you apply will be different, correct? Because you are different than them. You have different knowledge, you have different experiences. It's just that the knowledge and skills, the method that you learn from them is just the same, but how you apply will be different. So you're not totally copying them because what you do will be different. So in this case, you want to research people in your own industry, whatever industry you're in, research them and see how they do things and try to duplicate it to use your own knowledge and strength to do the same thing as them to keep your motivation up. They will give you hope that your strength and talent is still possible. And another thing about learning from successful people is that you will learn what kind of obstacle and setback they encounter, and you will also learn how they overcome it. And in this case, you can also learn the method that they overcome the struggle and the obstacle, so you can apply the same thing to help you as well. Because if you are in the same field as them, most likely, as some down the line, you will face same problems, which means you can use their story, their method to help you overcome the same thing. So in this case, they can become your virtual mentor and role model, and that's important. You want to have somebody to be a role model to push you forward when you face obstacle. Okay. So the last tip I'd like to share with you before we go to question and answer is to increase your self-esteem. And self-esteem is so important because self-esteem is about you, is your self-belief. The higher you believe in yourself, the more you have the ability to think differently. But when you have low self-esteem, you tend to copy others. But being creative is about being different, about thinking differently to come up with creative solution. But if you have low self-esteem, it's hard for you to be creative because you tend to try to fit in, try to do things like others. That means it's hard for you to be creative. So increased self-esteem is so important. So I will share with you 2 ways to help you how to increase your self-esteem. First, you want to act on your idea right away. The moment you have something good to do, act on it right away. Don't worry so much about the end result. Okay, self-esteem is about believing in what you think at the moment that is good for you. That is it. Because the moment you have a good idea, that is your intuition right there. And the longer you procrastinate in taking action, the more you procrastinate in taking action. Because you know why? The more you procrastinate, the more your brain will start to develop doubt and fear. And the higher your doubt and fear become, the more you are unlikely to take action. This does not mean that your idea is bad when fear and doubt come in. It's just that your fear and doubt take over. And that's why it's important for you, every time you have a good solution or idea, take action right away, because that idea is coming from you and that is part of who you are in your self-esteem. It's your expression. So it's so important for you to act on your idea and don't worry so much about the end result. Okay. And next way to increase your self-esteem is you want to work towards something that you can take ownership of, be proud of, create something that you can share with others. So let's say that you are good at exercising, but your family have trouble of exercising. So in this case, you can come up with a routine to help your family. Once you develop that routine, share with your family. And when your family use that routine successfully, then you can take ownership and because you created it. And when your family use it, that's you. And then you can take ownership. And when you can take ownership, something that can bring value to others, that will increase your self-esteem. And you can even grow that. If you're after your family are able to use that routine successfully, then you can share with your neighborhood, your community, to a bigger audience. And the more people you help with your exercise routine, the more ownership you can take, the higher your self-esteem become. So in this case, whenever you have a good idea, take action on it, and start to share with others. And the more people benefit from your idea, the higher your self-esteem become. Okay? So that is the last way to help you increase your motivation. That's the end for today's event. So